What's up, Schwartz Force? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. If you're new here, my name's Dave. This is Milo, and may the Schwartz be with you. Nay, did you know? It's a great day to wear a watch. Today I have on the Girarger, or I guess Jute, depending which company you purchase it from. It is an homage of the Cartier Santos, specifically the 100XL Chrono. Great watch. I picked this up for less than 20 bucks, and then I slapped it on a $70 strap and clasp, double deployant clasp combination, because why not? It looks great. I love this watch, and it's automatic. Great deal, great value. But anyway, got a couple videos. You can check them out up here if you're interested in seeing more on this watch. I definitely recommend it. But today, I am going to do a quick shout out. Hunter Bautista, one of my viewers, left a comment in my video for this watch here. This is the Gallant dive watch. Now, if you saw that video and you're interested in picking one up, you can still use my coupon code DAVESAVES on Amazon and save 10% off. Check the review out up here. If you're not sure about this watch, highly recommend you give it a watch. It's pretty cool. But anyway, Hunter left a comment asking if I could do a review on the Gallant moon phase watch that they have. Now, it's not a true moon phase watch. It has the complication that looks like the moon phase, but it's just a day and night indicator. So still really cool. And I saw the watch and I said, yeah, man, it looks cool. Let me see what I can do. So being that I'm here in the US and I use Amazon for a lot of my purchases, I reached out to Gallant, and their point of contact with Amazon said, you know what, we'd be happy to send you the watch. You know, go ahead and purchase it. We'll send you the money back. That way it can go shipped directly to me through Prime. So I did that. I purchased actually the black dial version. So I have it here. What ended up happening though, just to kind of share a bit more, when the watch arrived, the battery wasn't working in it. And I opened up the case back. I wanted to replace the battery, but I didn't have that size battery. And I was like, man. So I sent it back, requested a replacement. Everything else on the watch was fine. And then I let my point of contact know, hey, the watch wasn't working. It's probably the battery. I sent it back for a replacement. And they were like, you know what? We'll send you a couple of the others. Like, what I can ship you is the blue dial and the white and rose gold option. And I'm like, okay, sure. But this one had already been requested to be replaced. So I was like, all right. So what happens is I get the one from Amazon in black, and then I also get the blue on blue, blue leather, blue dial, and then the white dial rose gold on black leather. So I have all three of these here for you today. We're going to take a look at them, and I'm going to let you know my opinion, my thoughts, and you can decide for yourself if you want to snag one. Definitely use my coupon code. Now, for these moon phase watches, you want to use DAVESAVES2, and that'll get you 10% off here. And I believe both the Gallant dive watch and the Gallant moon watch are having additional savings, so my coupon code will stack on top of that. So by all means, it's the least I can do. Without further ado, let's get into this review. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with some measurements. So right now with the case diameter, we are looking at 42 millimeters. And then with the crown, it's putting us right at 45. And then the lug to lug height is coming in at 47. Case thickness is surprisingly just over 10 millimeters. So it's not a very thick watch. A little bit larger on the case dimensions, but fits really well on my 7-inch wrist, and I'll give you some wrist shots here in a moment. So measurements on the strap, lug width is coming in at 20 millimeters. So great to see. You can put a whole variety of different strap options on these watches. So check out the dial. This is the black dial option, and you can see it's just a very striking sunburst effect. And then we have even the sub dials, kind of has like that vinyl record kind of appearance. And you can see there's the date indication, day of month complication on the right, and then day of week complication on the left. Then of course our little moon phase pattern down here right above 6 o'clock. The back, as you see here, we have Gallant branding, Japan movement. So what's powering this is actually a Seiko, so Japanese quartz Seiko caliber VX3HE, if I'm not mistaken, is what's powering this watch. We have 50 meters of water resistance, so definitely a watch you don't have to be worried about getting wet. And then we have a stainless steel case back. I did ask my point of contact with Gallant if this was a stainless steel case, and they did confirm that it's actually an alloy case. And so I believe it's probably PVD coated. So just something to be aware of. At the price point, again, we're talking $30 on Amazon currently before the savings. And, you know, it just seems to be made actually really well. It feels really nice. I thought this was all stainless steel when I first had it in my hand, and I asked just to confirm. So did want to give you that heads up. And then we see here on the crown, look at that little cabochon kind of effect. Really cool. So before we move on, I wanted to show you the black dial. So next up, let's take a look at the blue dial option. As you see here, I mean, look at this color, just phenomenal. I don't know which one's my favorite anymore. They all look so good. Right now, probably the blue is my favorite. It's just so vibrant, really stands out. And my wife loves this color as well. So I wanted to point that out. Now, when I first saw this watch, I thought it had a GMT complication. I'm like, because of the hand, the little arrow. I was like, man, check out that GMT. But that's the second hand, as you see, ticking away there. One thing that was interesting is wearing this watch. At first, when I looked at it in pictures, I thought, why does it have that red arrow that stands out? It clashes. But I gotta say, having this on the wrist, it just makes sense. You look down, you know exactly where that second hand is. And it may be looking like it's difficult to see the time with those Dauphine shaped hands, the hour and minute hands, but in person, you actually pick it up very quickly. Plays with the light really well. But anyway, let's move on to our next watch here. You know, rose gold is one of those things that's been growing on me quite a bit. And so it was nice to see this option. I think that with the blued hands, and I did confirm, they're not heat steel treated blued, they're actually PVD coated. So they sent me a link kind of explaining the process, like ion plating, which when I read through it, it's pretty much the process of PVD coating. But I mean, just look at how when I put them in the light, you can see how the blue really pops. Looks really cool. And then again, got that red secondhand arrow. Now, one thing that's a little different is on the white dial version, and it's like this both on the rose gold and on the steel colored case. The dial has more of a muted kind of pearlescent effect, whereas on the blue and the black, you get that sunburst effect. So that's something that's worth noting. If you think this is too flashy on the sunburst, then you can always go for the more muted, kind of downplayed pearlescent dial color. We see Gallant branding with the logo, the little shield logo there at 12 o'clock, just like we saw on the dive watch. So one thing I find pretty cool is that we have these stick hour marker indices at 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and then we have at the even numbers Roman numerals, and they're done really nice. I feel like the size, the proportion, it looks really good. And these of course are applied in that rose gold color as well. On the blue and the black, we see that they are applied in stainless steel. So I wanted to point that out. Coming back here, we also see Gallant branding, classic series indicated under 12 o'clock, and then 50 meters water resistance indication and quartz indication right above 6 o'clock. The Rayhot is sloped. So we have minute markers on the chapter ring and then minute indices from 1 to 60. Just done pretty nice. And as you can see, the second hand lines up pretty close with those markers. Always a good thing to see because a lot of times they're always off slightly. Now I did give some feedback because we see there's a mineral crystal here, kind of like a domed mineral. And I gave feedback to my point of contact with Gallant, letting them know that I could see that at an angle, while we get some really nice distortion, there's also just a little bit of that greenish hue from the glass and the crystal. And so I let them know, you know, it's probably something most people aren't going to pick up on or notice, probably at all. But it's something that I notice because I look at a lot of different watches. And so seeing that kind of greenish cast hue, I just let them know if it's possible to find a crystal that's just completely clear, it would probably give even more of kind of bang for your buck quality just in the hand. But, you know, something very minor there. Just wanted to point that out. So on the rose gold version, we see that blue cabochon piece there on the crown. And then also on the blue watch, blue dial watch, it's a blue cabochon as well. But on the black dial, you get the black cabochon effect. So pretty cool on the crown. I gotta say, one thing that I like is this lug design, how it comes through, very classic, real elegant kind of look. These straps are actually pretty nice too. I just want to point out they're padded and then it kind of tapers down, so it gives that slim effect. And this does also taper, so we're going from 20 down to about 18. So the strap itself tapers as well for an even more kind of elegant feel. So next I want to show you how the hands work. Just, you know, obviously when we pull the crown out to position 2, you can see that the minute and hour hands move relatively average, not too fast, not too slow. You know, the feeling on this kind of onion style crown, it feels really nice as well. Now let's take a look for the day of week changeover and then day of month. So here we are at 11 p.m. We can see that it's starting to move to the next day. Clicks over almost right at midnight, really nice. And then for the day of week complication, here we go, starts probably around 1:15 a.m. and that is going to click over all the way to Thursday by about 3 a.m. So in my opinion, for having day of month and day of week complication in this style, going from 11 to 3, you know, it's not too terrible. This is something that caught me by surprise. I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but the actual stars, the sun and the moon are raised, almost like embossed onto that dial, that sub dial. I mean, I wasn't expecting that at this $30 price point. I was just expecting like something very simple and basic. So to see that it has some texture, it's just a really cool thing to see. Okay, there you go. So we'll do a quick wrist roll. I think right out of the box, these watches are really nice. And to have those color options, it's pretty much gonna fit, you know, anyone's taste. If you're looking for the rose gold option, it's there. If you're looking for white dial, it's there. Black and blue, just done really nice. I can't get over the blue color. My goodness, it's so nice. And the fact that they paired it up with blue leather is just really cool to see. So I'll set that one there. And then same thing here, the black dial. It's funny because I just feel like on the camera that it seems like it's harder to read the hands than what it actually is. Like here in person, I can see the time just fine. And then here we have the rose gold. So yeah, really awesome, guys. Let me know what you think of these watches down below. If you liked the Gallant dive watch, you know, again, Dave saves, get 10% off. If you like these options on the kind of moon or sun and moon phase watch, you know, Dave saves too, 10% off. So you can definitely save there. Big thank you to Gallant for sending these watches to me. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more content like this. Obviously, I can't wear all 3 of these watches all the time, and I don't need 3 in each color. So I think you guys get my drift as far as what I plan to do with these watches. So stay tuned for that. I will look forward to seeing you guys at the next one. As always, may the Schwartz be with you. Take care.